Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, and everybody inside and outside the ballpark, to the Noved podcast, where we talk to many creators and communities around the platform. I'm your host, and with me today on episode 86, we have the amazing, as the camera already decided to fail me today, we have the amazing KitkatSingsMeow. KitKat, welcome to the podcast. Hope you're doing well.
Doing good. Thanks so much for having me. And don't worry, I just kind of like snuck in a little bit. I was like a bit camera, like I was eager. I was like, hi.
No, of course. Well, for the general listening audience, who exactly is KitkatSings? Meow.
Meow. True. That's important. Hi, I'm KitKat. I'm what's it called? Like a Choco Lovecore V singer in VR, and also I guess now starting streaming on Twitch. And yeah, I just like to go ahead and do singing and provide a little cozy, positive vibe with what I do. So that's essentially pretty much me. I like to spread positivity, mental health advocacy, but also just like to get people feeling and motive through like my music. Get to reach out to the hearts of the people. So, but also just goober as well on the side as well. Yeah, that's me pretty much.
No, fair. Well, first and foremost, because obviously, doing music, in VR, so first and foremost, one of the biggest questions, what kind of got you into VRChat in the first place?
I had been like a really big fan of VR since like I think it's infancy. I didn't really get to go into it until I got my own headset. Though apparently VRChat likes to say that I've been here for 7 years. They're lying. It's all lies. I haven't been here for that long. I would say probably around when the Quest 3 came out, because that was my first headset. But I've always had like a fascination with VR in general. It kind of stemmed into when I first was really into, I don't know if you know about like the Utitas, like anime cover like artists, people,
Yeah.
like people that did yeah. I was huge into that when I was younger, and I was like, oh my god, I want to do that, because I was like little middle schooler. I was like, oh my gosh, I can be like cat girl online and get to sing to the people the things I like to do. That's great. I didn't really start off until I actually got into VR though. Even though I had little instances where I tried for sure. Like it was like small chorus battles, and I was in a girl group very briefly. But no, actually stepping into VR, I saw the promise of, just being able to interact with people from across the world, and that was sick to me. And to be able to not only interact and network, but also to get to perform, like the whole like the enhanced level of, instead of just posting onto YouTube, I can actually get to live perform in front of people, and get to reach people that I probably would have never been able to from VR, and create these like virtual experiences with like these amazing worlds, like this one. Like you can craft like these amazing experiences that it would take so much effort in like in real life. So that really drew me in, and I was like, you know what, we can do something from this. We can do some singing. We can do some performing. Yeah, it'd be fun.
No, absolutely. And obviously, you doing music is a whole nother path, outside of VR. So out of curiosity, what exactly, made you want to do music? Like what made you want to perform music in the first place?
Well, I mean, I've always had a draw to music since I was younger. Like, I remember my parents telling me that I would try to wrestle with my sister's like piano teacher when I was younger, like when I was like 4. And I was just like, teach me. I was like, please do something. And so like that got me, like that showed them that yeah, I had a lot of interest when it came to music. I did a pivot though around middle school and high school, when I guess people um told me, and it was like, hey, you could sing though. And I was like, really? uh, because I guess for me, I saw singing and like music as like an extension of myself, expression wise. Um, Me doing the talking, as you can tell, me no good talk, like not that good.
You're doing fine.
Yeah, but that's been a lot of effort in the making throughout the years. But thank you. I've been trying. I've been trying. But when I was younger, I saw music as a way to be able to express myself to people, to reach people, in a way that I couldn't really do with my words. And every time I got to take the chance to get to perform, whether it's at like talent shows or like local like statewide like competitions or like those like choir stuff that they would have, I would get feedback that like I would get to like really touch the people like that I would sing for, and that was really what drove me to keep on going with it for music for me. I really enjoyed it. I love to get to push the extent of like what I can do because I'm pretty varied, I'd say, as an artist. I like to do a lot of different genres, a lot of different styles. But what really does it for me is just the fact that I can reach so many people with my voice. And yeah, I think that's a big factor of it. So, I mean, I mentioned the music. The Utitis stuff was a big influence, I'd say. And I'm not sure. Did you ever see that movie Belle? The anime one, not the
It
not the
sounds
not the
very
live action.
familiar.
Yeah, it's essentially about like the story of a girl who like finds her confidence in her voice, like stepping into VR, like a virtual reality kind of thing. And that I feel like that was like a big motivator for me to really go into, I guess, making music like in VR as well too. So that was a big like influence I'd say as well too.
Hmm,
It's a great
fair
movie.
enough.
I recommend.
Fair. No, I'll have to definitely look into that. I don't. It sounds familiar, but I don't think I've ever watched it. But I do relatively know what you're talking about. Um, you'll have to send me a link later. I'll have to check it out.
Yeah, I'll
Um,
send it. It's very good.
but well, that's awesome though. I mean, that's definitely a lot of things when it comes to finding your voice. Metaphorically, of course, when it comes to that. And obviously, you also mentioned like you started streaming as of recently. So what kind of made you want to go into the streaming route of things?
Well, I mean, I've been a big fan of streamers. I mean, like I said, the Utah wasn't really the main big thing. Like VTubers in general, when that kicked off around a similar time that VR started kicking off as well, around 2012, 2016. 2016, I think. Yeah, 2016, like where it really kicked off. Kizuna was very big, very popular. Um, I think that was a big point that we're like, I can create like a very positive kind of community while also reaching people with my music, with my song, and also give people a place to be able to be. I like to have it be like unapologetically themselves. You know, I'm very pro when it comes to mental health and that kind of stuff. And so just to be able to create like a safe positive space away from a lot of the negativity that we see um online everywhere and in real life too, just to be able to create like just like a safe space where people can just come and chill, and I can create like a cozy kind of space for them, either just with hanging with me or with my music. That's all I'm trying to do on my corner of the internet. That's yeah.
No,
So I
that's
think that streaming was a big spot for me to be able to reach out more to people like that.
100%. And fun little fact for those who may not know. I don't remember when exactly, and if you allow me, I'll post the picture. I'll put the picture on the screen. But you actually were featured at Twitch HQ for a brief moment.
Yeah. I still don't know how that happened. But I was sick though.
Yeah, I would say that's.
Oh
I
my
mean,
God.
not a lot of people can say that happened. So I mean, very kudos to you in making a place to where even Twitch HQ notices it to some extent. That's really cool.
Yeah, I still don't know how that ended up happening, but yeah, somebody in the chat when one of my singing streams was like, I don't know if you know, I don't know if you're aware, but you are on Twitch HQ wall of like streamers, and I'm like, huh? So like that like floored me in the middle of it. I had to go check. I had them join my server to like drop some photos, and it was true. It was real. It was wild.
No, I mean that's
So,
amazing.
It's pretty sick.
No, absolutely.
Oh my gosh.
And that was actually pretty recent. But before we go too far, down the timeline, one of the questions I always ask, when it comes to like VTubers and stuff, so obviously with VTubers, the name and the persona itself, that's their identity. So what does the name KitkatSingsMeow mean to you, like on a personal level, like beyond the branding and the persona itself?
So, first originally I was when I was first coming up with it, because KitKat I think came about like 2016. I think that's when I first like adopted KitKat as my sona, as myself. And that was actually one given to me by one of my friends. My friends actually designed like the concept of KitKat very similarly to like I guess me, but it's just honing a lot of the stylistic like stuff that I love, with like the sweets and the love core and that kind of stuff. Which I mean, I feel like I've really honed in the years. And it's adapted since like the beginning, like the first iterations of KitKat. But essentially, I mean, I've always been like very, very cat-like in general. Like, so I mean, that plays on a bit on the KitKat and the meow aspects. Meow really hones it in of like just the cat girl aspects of it. I'm very like very scatterbrained, very like cat-like, very very, very many zoomies every now and then, but just it's the character of me pretty much. It's me just IRL just without the cat ears pretty much.
Fair enough.
But soon TM because I mean I want to get some like cat ears and like get to be fully myself like when I want to eventually perform live, like, so it'll be cool to get to be like fully me, which is again just slap on the cat ears and tail and I'm good. Yeah, but how KitKat really like why I really like honing on KitKat, and I remember learning like about when in Japan when kids would have like tests coming up. I learned there was like a tradition to be able to like gift each other like Kit Kats before like an exam. It was sort of like there was it was like a pun on the name of like Kitto, which is like a very like good luck kind of thing. And I really wanted to hone on being like that kind of like good luck kind of positivity, like for other people, that whoever stumbled upon me, that I at least like got to give them some sort of good luck and positivity in their day. And so that really was why I stuck with KitKat. But yeah, it's I'm essentially a cat girl wanting to give other people some little positivity. And I sing. That's why I added the sings to it was an appending username. First was KitKat, then was KitkatSings, then was KitkatSingsMeow, because KitkatSings was taken in certain instances. So I was like, you know what, this is the full title. This is the full title right here. Yeah.
And then eventually it's just going to add a :3 at the end. It's fine.
Yeah, the third one. Yes. Oh my gosh.
No, that's fair. And
Yeah.
obviously when it comes to, the whole persona thing, it definitely very much um fits, based on what I know and based on what I guarantee a lot of the viewers who know you know. I mean, it definitely fits you very well. Making that characterization and, putting it together to, form a safe space of positivity and, showing the world what music can do for people. Definitely a huge thing when it comes to music scene and inside of VRChat as well, but also in real life. But speaking of like, music and stuff and performing, um, so one of the questions I always ask performers, so, was there a specific moment in your life when you realized that music wasn't just something you enjoy, but it was a part of who you are?
Okay. Okay. I think um that's a toughie. I think there's probably like maybe two instances where I have that happen. One outside of VR and one in VR. Um I think outside of VR, it was when I was performing for my graduation. Um I was the end performer like for our graduating class. And I think one thing that really, again, what drives me to want to push back into live performing eventually, hopefully, is just the fact that I love. I think when I finished my song, and I mean, I eventually after the swarm of like once it was done, like after I performed, like we all dispersed, we all scattered, kind of thing. Um, um, like we got the compliments and that kind of stuff, and getting to hear like people say that they were really like moved by like my performance and stuff, and it was really nice. But I think the magical moments of being able to see people just suddenly moved by a performance, like um, I don't the twinkle lights in a crowd when you go to a performance, like when everybody pulls out their phones and they get to go ahead and like that absolutely like I remember that absolutely like dawning on me. I was like, wow, like my performance can like cause that kind of like effect, and it's so pretty. It's so pretty to have everybody just for that moment be all in unison, all together, just in that moment. And I was like, I want to do that. I want to do that more. And it was a similar thing with I think when I first performed at VCAT, um that was also a big thing. It was my birthday and it was really fun. I was already just like raving on that, but I was super nervous because I hadn't really performed at an event that scale. And to get to really just get to have that moment of being able to perform for so many new faces and get to share that experience, get to show much of myself and see everybody get so worked up, so riled up by what I'm doing. It was a similar experience. It was a similar vibe. It was so cool. And I mean, I still get those kinds of moments in like the shows that I continue to do, like getting to see people get moved, getting to see of course the emotes in the VR and have that all like just get that reaction, that people are really enjoying what I'm doing. It's really I don't know, it's very like what's the term? um Motivating. It's very not encouraging. It's very moving, I'd say. Yeah, very moving. The fact that I'm able to touch them and see that, and see that, in person, rather than just, if I record or if I do something like that and I see like the numbers, getting that actual interaction is way beyond that.
No, 100%. And, speaking from personal experience, I could definitely relate to having those said moments. Performing. Well, this is more IRL. I don't perform like singing in VR. But
Which, I mean, when's that gonna happen? I know you sing. I know you
I
sing.
do sing. It's a matter of
Mr.
equipment.
Barbershop man. Yeah. I know you do.
It's a matter of equipment. Once I get the proper equipment, we'll see. Like I do karaoke like sometimes because like, and that usually does very well for me. I'd like to have something a little bit more professional when it comes to the equipment side before I like start doing live singing, like for like actual like events and stuff. It's more of a me thing. Like I even though people are like, oh, like you could do this for an event, I'm like, I want to have something a little bit more professional before I go into that route. It's solely a me thing. Like I love the question mic
with the,
but
yeah.
singing's not the greatest 9 times out of 10. I'm actually working with my desktop mic, which it's not the greatest mic for it, but I've been playing around with it. I've been trying to see what type of functionalities I can do and all that type of stuff. So soon TM. We're nothing guaranteed
soon
yet.
TM.
Trust me,
guys. Make sure to be in those comments prodding about that. We want to see Noved out here performing next event. It's gonna be great.
I mean, I would love to do like if, like performing live is one thing, but doing like produced stuff, I would be more comfortable with doing because I can make that work a little bit better. Like I would love to start collabing with some of the musicians of VRChat to like put music out there and stuff.
Yeah.
But once again, that's a whole soon TM thing. don't get too excited. I know some of you've been waiting for it too, but gotta make sure things are in progress before I get to that point. Also a nervous thing, I guess, because that kind of will break.
It's new.
Yeah, it's new, but it'll also break a boundary between because a lot of people know like I sing barbershop IRL and they're well aware of my choruses and quartets and stuff. So like that boundary between VR and IRL is already shattered. But it's definitely it's in the works. I'll put a pin in it and we'll just say it's in the works.
Let's go.
So I guess kind of to go into back into the topic a little bit because you had mentioned like having those moments. So you talked about VCat, and obviously, VCat being one of the bigger events here inside of VRChat when it comes to these type of events. So if this is kind of the same answer, that's totally fair for this question. But what performance moments in VRChat have felt realer than real life to you?
Realer than real life. I mean, I feel like every performance, I mean, whether it's like how much I cater to, the performance or just, in general, how much, all these events are ever improving, I'd say. Like, it's wild to see, like, how much people, like, push the extents for these new events. Like, even with yours, with Scott Forever Fest. I think, I mean, the latest one that felt like realer than real. Well, okay, I'd say VCat was really, really big because of just the new scale of how many people I was going to be performing in front of was wild. Like it was absolutely, insane. Like just how many people like I was told that were tuning in, and just how many people I was being put in front of. It was like. Ugh! So I remember it very much because of the adrenaline. I was just like, ah! So I was very nervous. But I feel like when it came to performances that I feel like I really connected with, I'd say probably like that felt a lot real. I mean, even with Squad Forever Fest was really, really great. I felt like I had moments where I could really interact and engage with the viewer, with the audience. And that was sick. Being able to like come down, sit on the ledge, be able to like just have those more intimate kind of moments, more vulnerable kind of moments, vocally, and get to see like people really resonating with that. It's kind of sick. It's kind of wild, yeah.
No, absolutely. Well, thank you. I'll
Mhm.
say that, I mean, realistically, like, me and DJ Red Panda came up with that idea for that stage, um, for that side stage, which was supposed to originally be the main stage, and then that floor stage was mainly for DJs. But I'm really glad the amount of people that used, because we gave everybody the option. We were very happy
Yeah,
when people, me and him both were very happy when people chose that one, because it's a new type of stage that wasn't done before. With the screen fed like on the building and stuff, and it was something unique that we wanted to try.
and I
And
love that.
and
It was definitely
it was
pushing a lot
very,
of the
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, so
It's
it
pushing
was
it's
very unique.
pushing a lot of like the yeah, exactly. It's very unique. Exactly. It's pushing like what we haven't really like been seeing, those more unique kind of stages. And I think you guys did a really great job with it. I mean, overall the event came out amazing. And so just to be a part of that and to get to connect to people like for raising like money for such a great cause. I mean, that's what I love about getting to perform a lot in VR. We're always trying to make the most out of what we can do in VR and get to raise a good amount of money for good causes. And so I'm just glad and grateful to be able to be a part of that. So
Of course. Well, it was
yeah.
an honor to have you on it. We'll get more into detail about that performance later. Because obviously, you've done quite a bit of performances when it comes to VR. So I guess, how does, performing in virtual reality, change your emotional connection to the listeners or to the attendees?
I mean in VR, I mean, you get so immersed, you know? Like it's as if like you're sucked into a virtual space and of course like I got like no bottom gasket. I could see like I'm in my jammies right now. I can see I'm in my jammies in my bedroom. But to be able to be in that space, be able to interact, we're out here. You're I don't know where out like in nowhere but but we're so far apart but yet we're able to really like connect and engage like as if it's just you're here in the room with me and you're there and just to be able to see like and hear like the live interactions when it comes to performances to get to see that engagement. It's way different than just if you release something and like you get like the comments and like the likes and that kind of like that's amazing. That's incredible. But to really like get to engage with your audience, to see their live reactions and to feel like yeah, you did that. Like I did that. I made them. I made. I always make the joke because I mean I don't necessarily want to make people sad. I don't want people make people cry, but I do like when I hear that like I from an emotive song I'm like I see like people like feeling it, feeling the tears. I'm like that's the goal. That's the goal to like give them that space of for those moments, for like whatever how long my set is, for like that 30-minute hour set, I don't know, 15 minutes even, and for that song, they were able to have that point of just being able to be vulnerable with their feelings and really just feel. And a lot of times I feel like we really need those times to just be able to um slow down and just feel after like from a day of just like constantly going, masking, like having to put away our feelings just to be able to sit and be able to connect with somebody from across the world to get moved by that and just be able to like sit with your feelings. Um, that's when I know that I feel like I've done my job. And so that's a big pro on being able to perform in VR. Because yeah, it's just like it's the closest thing you get to live performing, and it's very comfortable as well too, because you're in your comfy space. It's great.
No, of course. Yeah, and obviously, as you kind of mentioned, like giving those attendees and the audience that emotional sensation, it's definitely it's a heartwarming thing for the performer at the end of the day, because you're portraying your emotions through song, and they're understanding that. Which obviously with music, that's a huge huge goal to have. I mean,
Yeah.
some of the best performers will have emotional moments on stage. Like I know one of my, this is kind of a funny thing. One of my like guilty pleasures when it comes to like watching random stuff on YouTube is watching those moments where performers, both, you know, popular and, you know, more indie or, you know, smaller performers, they'll perform, you know, live or in VR, mainly live, but they'll, you know, they'll start singing a song and then you just hear the audience, you know, sing all the words, all the rhythms,
Oh my
all that type of
gosh.
stuff.
Oh,
It's one of my guilty pleasures when watching
I
YouTube stuff.
love that.
Like
Oh
it,
my gosh. Just to
and
hear
they
the
just
roar
stop.
from the crowd, and it's just to take it in, to have everybody like singing along to your song. And that's where I'm trying to get. That's one of my main goals. That's what I'm trying to get to one day. One day we get there. Oh my gosh, that'd be so cool. No, but for real, just to
It
know that you've made such an impact on all those people, like for them to just know word by word, and to know that you put that out there, and that's I can imagine like that's absolutely like mind blowing for somebody like a performer out there. Yeah, that's sick.
I say it's always one of the most craziest things to watch, especially, you know, no matter the venue size, you know, if it's at a bar or if it's at a stadium, you know, and you see them start to perform this song and they just get, you know, you just hear the entire crowd singing the song and they can't keep it together. They stop singing and just take that moment in to realize like they finally made it. You know, that's what
Yeah,
I consider a they made it moment. You know,
yeah,
it's because that's how you know that, you know, your words and your music, you know, truly, you know, inspire or touch other people's hearts. You know, you've made that genuine connection, even though, you know, you may not know them personally, you've made them feel what you are feeling. And that's an end goal I feel all musicians should have, at least to some extent.
yeah.
Um, you know, it's definitely a crazy thing what music can do for people, man. It's
It's true.
wild. Yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
it's incredible. Oh my gosh. One day be out there. And I hope to have all of my friends out like to be able to come with me on the journey. Like as I go up there, it'll be fun. It'll be fun. I'm really hoping. Yeah. Well, whenever like the IRL thing. I mean, because that's probably gonna be until you know VR fixes their latency issues. Hopefully soon. Hopefully it'll be great. No, just to get that effect like IRL to get to have people sing along with you like from that stage. It's to your music. That's an incredible feeling. I'm really looking forward to hopefully getting there eventually. That's the goal.
100%. No, and it's one day. I feel like you could do it one day. If
One
anybody
day.
could, you could.
Yeah. Oh, thank you, thank you. I'm
Well,
hoping.
hello, everyone. Real quick, just want to pause the episode right here. I want to thank you all so much for watching this far. If you're interested in checking out some of the other content or staying up to date on all my other content, including the podcast, make sure to hit that subscribe button. It really does help me out a lot. And speaking of that, we now officially have all of the merch here on YouTube, from Squad Foreverfest to DJ Noved to Noved Notes merch. All the merch is now here on YouTube. So you no longer have to go to the merch site itself. It's all directly here. But of course, if you want to learn more about VRChat and maybe attend some of the events that I hold, feel free to join the Noved Squad at noved.6608. We're trying to hit 1,500 by the end of the year. So make sure to join the Noved Squad and attend some of the events. There's some amazing stuff coming up, not only at the end of this year, but also in 2026. So make sure to stay tuned. But let's get back into the episode. Woo! It's funny we're talking about like the whole emotional connection and stuff. You know, because this, you know, this is kind of more for you personally. You know, so what emotions or like themes do you feel your voice expresses the best, and which ones may challenge you?
Um, hmm. So, I mean, for me, I feel like, and I'm very explorative when it comes to like, oh, my controllers, they'll disappear for a second. Don't worry. But I feel like for me, I'm very explorative when it comes to my voice. Though there are plenty of things that I haven't really like explored or haven't really like found like solutions for yet for like a lot of things I like to do. I feel like very like soulful, like very like sad, melancholic is very much my bread and butter. Very like a nostalgic kind of like belty kind of like those kind of stuff are like yeah very much bread and butter like my Adele's, my Billy's, my um trying to think what else. I mean I think even like the jazz scene, which was very surprising. I only started jazz like earlier this year, like taking in like jazz kind of stuff, which has been a pretty strong suit for me. One that I really really like that I feel like I have yet to really like develop the technique yet, which I've been talking to a lot of my friends that are into it, like more like that kind of like gritty, like kind of like rock kind of stuff. Because I used to like grow up like listening to a lot of rock and punk and that kind of stuff. And so but I'm very much a clean vocalist. For sure. But I've been experimenting. Trying. We always try out new things. Our voice is always ever evolving. At least mine is. And so we're like, as much as I try out new different techniques, I'm really hoping that I can really develop some more grit to be able to work into those more like powerful punchy kind of songs like more on like the grit level like punchy.
Sure.
I can belt like that's usually like my like that's my powerhouse kind of thing. But I can't like growl or like do the scream or like do like the most I can do is like a vocal fry like like that kind of thing. I can't really like grit like yet. Though I mean some friends say that I have the potential. So I need to unlock the potential. The potential. Sorry.
You're good.
But yeah.
No, I mean, yeah, it's definitely crazy what the human voice can do, in that regard. And like you said, every voice is different, and it's always growing, or evolving. Growing may not be the term, but
Yeah.
evolving.
Growth. Growth.
But yeah, no, it's definitely an ever changing thing. And with your songs that you performed, all the covers and stuff. And there's a lot, there between all your performances. There's definitely a lot of different songs you've covered and made them into your own experience. So one of the questions I want to ask you, because you have such a pretty variety of a set list, is there one song in particular that means more to you than the rest?
Okay. Oh, that's tough. That's like having to choose from my babies. And I have like again, I know so many songs, but like I start to blank out, which is probably a bad thing. Like if I'm comparing them to my babies, I shouldn't be forgetting all. But
Or like maybe like a top 3,
But-
top 5, maybe.
yeah,
If
yeah.
that makes
All
it
right,
easier.
let's see. I really like doing hmm. So one of the songs from Belle is "Lend Me Your Voice," which I think is a beautiful, beautiful song. I sang it once at VRChat, and I would love to get to sing it more because I feel like it's a very. I would love to cover that song for sure. That song is essentially like what I try to do in general. Like I feel like it's a very meaningful message of a song. Um, to be able to reach out to someone, like have them put away their worries and anxieties and just be able to let somebody be able to be their voice, that just to be able to be there for them, be able to yeah, it's absolutely incredible. Like just that whole soundtrack. I will tell you again. I'm a geek for Belle. Do take a listen. All of it's incredible. Um, but that song, I think some. I mean, Adele is wonderful. I love. many much Adele songs. I love performing like Chasing Pavements, Make You Feel My Love, ba, 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 ba. Like songs kind of like that, those power like you know, kind of like ballady kind of songs like Sarah Bareilles' Gravity. Those are also like I love those songs. Or She Used to Be Mine, Sarah Bareilles. Yeah, amazing. A songwriter, I'd say that's yeah. But yeah, those kinds of songs are I love getting to like pull those out because I know for a fact like those have been time and time again ones that people have said that like they've been very touched by the performances, and that's the goal, as you can know. Yeah, that's the goal. um
Mhm.
but yeah, but that doesn't really touch on like my fave. So wait, hold on. I'm Yeah, that doesn't even touch on like some of my fave songs, my fave groups, because that's just touching on stuff that I love to perform. But to listen, to really take in, like I love Gorillaz. Gorillaz is like my favorite group. Very up there for sure. Gorillaz, Muse. I love Muse. Starlight is one of my favorites. I would love to get to cover Starlight. I think that'd be great. Um, but yeah, those as well. Very big up there. Very big, like for inspo music wise, for me. Just because of the power and also the variety, the storytelling in the songs. So I that's yeah, those are my big influences and stuff that I do like to bring out from time to time. You'll see me in stream or like if I'm performing, like I'll get super excited whenever like any Gorillas or get Muse gets recommended because I'm like, yes. Also, musicals. Musicals are fun. Musicals are always very fun.
Mhm.
Very theatrical, like very theatrical musical kid. Yeah. So
Thought you were gonna pull like the Mr. Beast thing there for a second. Like-
Mr. I want it in edits just like big red circle, Mr. B. Yeah, big red.
Oh boy.
That'd be great.
But yeah, no, I mean, definitely some very good choices when it comes to, you know, some of your favorites and stuff and inspirations. You know, and obviously a lot of those have a deeper meaning to you, specifically, which kind of begs this next question. So obviously, you know, when you're performing, you know, you're putting your emotions out there. Have you ever had a performance where you've put out more emotion than you can handle to where it to where it, you
I
know,
know what she
it
does.
kind of
Yeah.
yeah I guess I'll let you put the line together on that one.
I've cried on screen. Yeah, I've cried on stage. um I luckily they've always been like my last song that I always line up. But yeah, no, I've cried many times when because for me, I really like to when it comes to performing, I usually like to put myself in the place of the singer. That allows me to get that emotion, that raw emotion. That's me feel what they're currently feeling, get those raw emotions out that they're feeling. Then a lot of it's that vulnerability that sometimes I can like truly relate to from like my own experiences and that kind of stuff. And yeah, sometimes they hit a bit harder than I expected it, like in in rehearsal. You know, in rehearsal everything goes great. When it's time to kick it and there's like people seeing you in your vulnerable spot, it's a little different, you know. But I think like it adds to the performance. I feel like I always take it that it adds to like the show, to like the fact that like those feelings are there. They're vulnerable and people can see that, they can feel that. And you know, I try to push through as much as I can. It happens. But I mean it works out in the end, I'd say. I've had those moments where like I remember it was like a live gig doing what's the song? It's from a musical dog fight. No, that's not it. It's a musical called Dogfight. It was a song where the girl was it's like a monologue, like a self-reflective monologue. Um oh, isn't it funny? I think it's oh no, pretty funny, pretty funny. That's the song. I definitely recommend as well. It's a great musical. But towards the end, there's a lot of emotion in that. It's very raw. It's very like self-reflective. It's like hitting to a point of like all these like thoughts, all these negative thoughts. These like oh like it couldn't have been real. Like it's very like it's very vulnerable, and then to at the end have this point of like you're very defeated, you're very at the end very just it's a very like I'm blanking. It's a very like raw moment of like just very like holding back the tears. I remember like in my rehearsals I was on that. I was like good. When it came to like being on that stage, like it came out. But I feel like overall I had people come to me and be like, like just even through all that emotion I could feel, through your performance. And I'd say that's a job well done, at least on my book.
No, 100%. And I'm in that kind of like, it kind of brings back into a lot of the performances you have done, because there are specific songs, and this is coming from me as a musician's perspective. You can feel the emotions pouring out, even if it's a song that like, may or may not be what you normally do. It's definitely, you can feel the raw emotion pour out, into the performance itself. And you definitely did that at Squad Forever Fest. So like, I don't know if you were 100% expecting to go first on day one, but
I mean, I usually go first in a lot of these things, but it was great to get to be first. I like to get to open up the space. I get to open it up for like the rest of the performance. It's fun. It's very nice. And like
100%.
to have so many people flood in and get to feel with me. It was very fun. It's very nice.
Yeah, and it was absolutely nutty. I guess this is kind of going more into the events that you've done. We'll get Squad Forever Fest out of the way, since I know a lot of people are, you've probably clicked the annotation up here somewhere where you can watch the full performance.
Yeah, check out those VODs.
Or the highlight reel.
Yeah.
But it definitely, having you go first, and we essentially doubled within your set. We doubled from about 700 plus to roughly almost $1,400 within your set alone. Was crazy. It was absolutely insane. I know personally, and I know I put it in the highlight reel, because that was the hardest thing, was to choose one song from every performer that I believed was the best in my personal opinion. Whether it's just raw emotion or emotional connection. I didn't really want to do the whole like, oh, everybody knows the song, let's put it on there. But because that's just me as a musician. I don't do it for the popularity. I do it for the emotional connection. And of course, in the highlight reel for day one, I had to put One More Light. That
I love doing that
song. I'd be lying to say I wasn't in the green room kind of low-key tearing up when you put that out there. And I was like, fuck, man. Like, because the whole event was for the International Association of Suicide Prevention. And that song hits a lot harder to a lot of people who've dealt with that. And it's definitely it hit hard. And I was like, damn. Like, they're like, dude, it's only the first performance, you're already tearing up. I'm like, shut the hell up. Let me have this. But
and then that's exactly so. That's what I wanted. I mean, I mean, especially for like causes like that. I mean, again, I'm very like pro mental health, suicide prevention, included. I feel like a lot of us, myself included, we've all, dealt with, either like feelings or also loss. due to suicide and not being able to have that proper communication, that proper conversation due to stigmas and the social climate of being able to talk about those uncomfortable topics. But it's important, and it's important to feel those moments, to be able to, like, again, that's why I incorporated a lot of those songs in that set, to be able to lean towards, just being able to sit with those feelings, and to be able to truly either, again, reminisce, or be able to um, you know um, feel with your own, for people that are battling with it, to understand that they are, valued, and um, just to be able to reach those people, with a set like that. That's I feel truly honored to be able to curate a set for that, and to be able to reach people's hearts like that. Because yeah, I'm doing what I can in my own way, I suppose. Even though, we can only reach so many people with what we do, and so to be able to at least have that positive impact in that way. Um, in at least in my music, while I have the time, while I have like that 1 hour, I can make the most out of it, to be able to, make a meaningful impact, especially for a cause like this. So
Oh, 100%. And, obviously, you know, while Squad Forever Fest was one of the more recent ones, you've done a lot of different performances. So you've done a lot of different performances, like over VR, through many different music communities and stuff. As somebody who's performed with many, different events, different venues, all that type of stuff, what are some of the memorable moments when it came to some of these performances? Like, what are some of the memorable events that you've done?
Uh, well, I mean, I'll mention, yeah, for one last time, yeah, Square Forever Fest for sure. I'd say Vika was really fun for being able to not only, again, reach out for many people, but the interactions with people from different, areas, time zones, languages. It's very Japanese centric, so getting to interact with a lot of like Japanese speakers through it was really cool. There's also a lot of uh, intermingling of groups in like the jazz scene as well. Surprisingly, I've gotten to connect with a lot of really cool like Asian performers um, through like a bunch of those like jazz kind of performances, and those are really cool. I love get to connect with like people from all over the place. It's so sick. We get to meet a lot of people in general, like as we're here in VR, and there's always emerging musicians from like everywhere, like coming up, popping up, and it's so cool to see like as like the music environment's just growing and flourishing, and it's so cool. And we're making the effort to have live performances a lot more prevalently known across in VR, which is amazing. The development that we've had in the last 2 years, I'd say, has been incredible. Just the growth that we've had to for putting out live performing in VR as another means of entertainment, rather than like just DJs, or just like the stuff that VRChat is very known for. Like there's live performers that even still today, it's fun to see people so surprised that like, oh my gosh, there's live performers out here. And so getting to have an impact in that, seeing that growth through those shows, and getting to meet all these new performers through that, it's pretty sick. I yeah.
No, 100%. And I'm a strong believer of these bigger events. Not only are they bringing people together for a good cause, but they are bringing the world together through the power of music, which I am a sole believer in. When it comes to VR and music, Because as we said, you can perform for people all the way across the world. You can live in America and perform for people like in Japan, in Europe,
Mm-hmm.
and anywhere around the world. And there are so many talented musicians across the world that have showcased at many different events what
Yeah,
they
for real.
can do, and that VR brings that power to the people. No, that's not a Nintendo reference. That was not intentional.
I would kill the people.
But it's definitely an amazing feat for music in the music scene, because it brings a new audience to people who can't afford to travel across the world, can't tour around their own country. They
Travel's expensive, man.
very much so, very much so.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously, you kind of mentioned, like, some of the events and stuff, like earlier on, because you were even in a talent show, a VTuber's talent show, at Lamoon, if I remember the name correctly,
Yeah,
which is about
that was
roughly 4
so
months ago
cool.
when this is being recorded.
Yeah,
Yeah, and I mean, you placed second place, that's it's crazy.
that was still wild for me. Oh my gosh, I was brought in like last minute. I know that Mooney, she popped into one of my streams because I was part of her stream squad, stream team. Yeah. The Neurospicy gang. Neurospicy rep. But uh when she popped in, she had reached out to me and she was like, "I need you for my talent show." I was like, "Bet, I love your stuff. All right." And to get pulled in and get to meet all these amazing musicians that I'd never come across before, and it's just the fact that we all come together and we have little bonding moments, even like in the backstage. It was sick. Even today, I just popped into a stream of one of the people that I guess competing with, and we still keep in touch. It's really cool to get to see how everyone's doing. We create these bonds even still, because overall it's just having fun with being able to perform together and making all these fun connections throughout the way. And I wasn't expecting to get gold, like the gold ticket or second place, but because there was a lot of amazing performers, and I'm just very grateful that people enjoyed it and that the judges enjoyed it, and I got to be a part of it. Because like I said, I got pulled in last minute, and it was such a fun experience. I have such a fun experience. I was talking to the person I joined off a stream, Mephi. He and I were saying that we would love to get to do more talent shows like that, to see more talent shows like that come up for VTubers. And I feel like that would be great for like the intermingling, just getting more connections organically, bringing a lot of like talents together, and it was a very positive time. It feels like I remember it like it was yesterday, but also it's been so long ago. So, but it was a really cool time, and like I said, yeah, it would be really cool to see more of that. Soon, yeah, great.
No, agreed. I mean, there's definitely a want for that type of stuff. So, I mean, there's actually a few communities here in VR that does similar stuff. I know one that was featured at Project Fest was Jack Knife's talent show. Like, he does that type of stuff. And I know there's been bigger creators who've been doing talent shows left and right. And hopefully, it becomes more of a prevalent thing that people can enjoy and watch and understand, like, what it means for all these talents to come together, not necessarily in a competition sense, but in an artist and music sense, to
Yeah,
showcase what they're about, and hopefully these
yeah.
have done good things for them when it comes to that. um
Mm.
but yeah, it's definitely a crazy thing. And I know, you've worked on a few songs with some other people that have been posted on YouTube and stuff. Of course, like, you have the Escape from the City. You know, you did a whole
Yeah.
music video with the homie, which is very
That
very
was
good. Listen,
fun.
if you
Thank
haven't,
you, Region.
I'll say,
I love you, Region. Thank you so much. I appreciate Region. What's the dragged me like at some point in a weekend, and they were like, I want to make video for you. Let's record this, get this done. And in the span of like 2 or 3 days, we worked on that. Like I recorded on the one day. Sorry, I recorded my vocals on the one day, and then we recorded recorded video on the next day, and it was so cool to get that done. I would love to do like a revamp version, or like just in general. It would be fun, but it was so cool to get to collab with friends and stuff. I love getting to work with friends in general, which is like I love getting to support the friends out here, support the musicians that are just doing incredible stuff, and to get to work with them, get to help out how I can is so sick. Like the camaraderie that we get like amongst like the music scene and just the creatives in general, the creative scenes in general. We all help each other out. It's fun.
no,
Make cool
100%.
stuff.
Yeah, I mean it's the realm of infinite possibilities when it comes to VR and music itself. So I mean, definitely a lot to think about, to say the least.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
And I mean, like it really does take like take I guess they say take a village, but I mean it everybody helping each other out. Not every well, I mean some people be doing the most and putting out like everything all on their own and doing absolute incredible stuff like just all on their own. Minxie, I'm looking at you. You're doing incredible stuff, and like they're doing the video edit, they're doing the audio edit, they're doing all this stuff. But a lot of people got their specialties and they put them together, and they do amazing stuff. Like like I said with the Escape from the City cover region. Crispy, thank you, Crispy. I dragged her in. Like I saw her, she was online, and I just pinged her, and I was like, you want to be in video? And she joined in like in the middle of her busy schedule, and just the fact that friends be helping out, and I appreciate so much just the fact that people want to help out. It's very hard for me to put to ask things of people. I think for me growing up, I've been, I don't know, the things that I've really wanted to like IRL like to do like have been kind of like put down when I was growing up, and so to push myself to really like ask for help, it's a very tough thing. But as getting closer to the people in the community, seeing how like willing and like how nice everybody is, how welcoming everybody is, and just getting to get close to them and get like wanting to really like work on something together. It's gotten me to be able to reach out and not feel like I have to take everything on by myself. And with that, I get to learn because everybody putting their skills together and like mixing the skills in the pot kind of thing, the melting pot. And you get something it feels like a team collaborative effort, and it's so cool. It's so cool. So
100%. No, I mean it's definitely a lovely thing. And speaking of lovely things, obviously, doing what you do, performing in VR and performing music, it's not an easy thing to get started with. So I guess one of the biggest questions, because we are running a little bit out of time, it did not feel like an hour already, but but one of the questions I wanted to ask, if you had a piece of advice for somebody who is interested in performing here inside of VR, what is that piece of advice?
I'd say just start. I think you'll get to grow with time, and you'll get to learn new things as you go, and you'll run into people that have much of experience that want to share, their knowledge with you. But I'd say the only thing stopping you from doing the things you want to do is you picking up that microphone or keyboard or guitar or any of that, and just going ahead and doing it. The time is now. Future is now. And I think as you go and as you push yourself out there, you'll find yourself evolving and growing to way more than you thought you would, and that just comes with constant growth and pushing yourself to do things that you love, pushing yourself to put yourself out there and do the things that you love to do. I'd say that's a big thing. Do the things that you love to do, and people will see that determination and that drive for the things that you care about, and be moved by that. People love to see people determined by the things that they love, and I think people will definitely see that from wherever you're at. We'll see that determination, that you're so passionate for what you want to do, and let that passion keep you driven, keep you going. You got this.
100%. No, I mean, solid piece of advice there. Thank you so much, KitKat, for coming on. This was a blast to have you on finally.
Thank you for having me. I'm so excited. I'm glad that I'm here. This set looks so sick. Thank you so much. This was a fun time.
Yeah, well, thanks, xCirrex, for the set. I was like, this is his pub world.
Thank you so much for having me. You've been a lovely host. Thank you. Appreciate you handling my rambling.
It's all good. But yeah, no. Before we do end things off, I do want to give you a spot to tell the people where they can find you, any links you want on screen in the description, all that type of stuff. But yeah, tell them where they can find you.
You can find me at you can follow my group, KitkatS Cafe, if you're in VR. If you're not in VR and you want to catch my stuff, you can follow me on Twitch, twitch.tv/KitkatSingsMeow. I stream every Tuesdays and Thursdays, where I have singing streams on Thursdays. So I have a stream later on tonight, as filming. And if you want to catch releases and that kind of stuff that I'll have, you can catch covers and that kind of stuff on YouTube, or like my mini short posts, that kind of stuff on TikTok, or keep up with my stuff on Twitter. Everywhere I'm KitkatSingsMeow. It's the same username, like everywhere. Put arms here for logo purposes. You'll see it somewhere. Yeah, sure.
Of course. But yeah, no, thank you again for coming on. This was a blast.
Thank you.
And of course, thank you again for performing on Squad Forever Fest. It was an honor to have you, especially to kick off the event.
Yeah. It was super fun. I would very much do it again.
Yeah, of course. And yeah, of course, if you haven't seen the highlight reel or the VOD of KitKat performing, they'll be probably tagged at the end of the video, as well as probably an annotation right up here. Editor, get to work. But yeah, make sure to go check it out, because it is an amazing performance, just like all the amazing performances we had. Except this one happened first, so it's the best.
But what? No, everybody's so good. But thank you so much.
No, of course. But yeah, with that, ladies, gentlemen, everybody inside and outside the ballpark, that has been it for episode 86. Yes. Of the Noved podcast. I want to thank you all so much for watching, listening, depending on what platform you're on. Comment down below. Comment down below. You know what? Go watch the VOD, and I want you to come back to this comment section. What is your favorite song that KitKat performed at Squad Forever Fest? I'm going to make you do some work, viewer. Go watch the VOD.
I would love to get to know. Do let me know. That'd be great. Yeah.
I mean, I've already said mine, with it being One More Light by Linkin Park, but go to that VOD and comment down below which one's your favorite. KitKat will definitely be looking at the comments, and I'll make sure to forward them to her. But yeah, I want to thank you all so much for watching and listening one last time. And of course, if you are coming back to check out some of the other episodes, why not hit that subscribe button? You're already coming back anyway, or follow button, like button, depending on the platform. There's like 10 platforms this goes on. But, make sure
the buttons are somewhere.
Yeah, either below or to the left, to the right, whatever, right, left. Cameras are reversed. Anyway,
They're somewhere.
They're somewhere. But yeah, thank you all so much for watching. I think that's everything. Man, I'm losing my outro every episode now. But with that, one last time, thank you all so much for watching episode 86 of the podcast, and I will see you in the next episode. Take care and peace.
Bye-bye.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Noved.